Welcome. Welcome everyone to Mr. Marquise Tutors Me. This is my testing techniques tutorial. Testing techniques tutorial. I just come to teach you how to basically calm yourself down, relax, be prepared to take the test. A lot of people suffer from anxiety when it comes to testing, or they just don't feel that they are good enough, or they don't feel that they've learned enough to know that, hey, this test is just everything that we've been working on up until this point. Whatever test I'm getting ready to take is something that we have covered. So I want to try to be the best student I can be at all times. When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. And by you being here, Mr. Marquise Tutors Me, you're either on my Facebook page, which is the Little Keepers Lit Club, or you're on my YouTube channel, Mr. Marquise Tutors Me, Mr. Marquise TM. And I definitely appreciate you for showing up. This is going to be something that you will probably never forget, because I'm going to basically show you how your body language can tell you if you're going to pass the test before you even start to take the test. Now, the test questions that I am going to be asking, it's only about 15 on this slide, on this particular presentation, but the test questions can be found at Quizlet.com. Quizlet.com/507-833-632/test. You can go and take the test. Go ahead and take the test before, and then take it after we're done, after you get everything that you need from me. Now, I consider myself a master student more than I consider myself a teacher. But nonetheless, I am a teacher. But know that I am a master student first. I basically mastered being studious. And one of the first things I did before I took this test, I had to go and find the basic grammar rules. Now, those basic grammar rules, you can either download them at N as in Nancy, R-E-S as in Sam, nres.net/downloads/basic grammar rules .pdf. So this is a PDF file of basic grammar rules. Now, you definitely need to know the rules of grammar. And I basically went and pulled it up. Now, I didn't go ahead and write this stuff because I remember a lot of it, but it's just something to refresh my memory, keep me in the loop, basically. Again, this is Marquise, Mr. Marquise Tutors Me at gmail.com, Mr. Marquise Tutors Me at protonmail.com. I definitely appreciate you guys being here. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment somewhere if it is possible. Turn as many people on to this as you can, because I have a lot of family members who are like, hey, man, I have to take a GED test. I have to take a aptitude test when I'm going to school, and I can do the math portions of it, but I'm having problems with grammar and spelling errors and run-on sentences and sentence fragments. I'm not actually understanding subject-verb agreement. That's exactly what this basic grammar rules PDF is going to be laying out for you. You'll learn about pronoun agreement, verb tense, plural and possessive, You'll also learn about capitalization, like nouns, pronouns, something that, needs to be capitalized at all times. You learn about word usage, sentence usage, improper contractions, negatives, parallel structure, punctuation, of course. Punctuation is, a period at the end of a statement, a question mark at the end of a question, an exclamation mark or exclamation point at the end of something being exclaimed, like something that's emotional. Like if someone is excited about something, oh, I love school, that has an exclamation point at the end of it. You should also know about troublesome verb conjugation, and we'll just go through and we'll do a little bit of practice before we get into the actual testing. On this next slide, it'll be mostly just practicing and getting to know exactly what these rules are saying before we even get into the test. So again, thank you guys for coming. Mr. Marquise tutors me. This is going to be a breeze. We're just going to first relax, calm down. We're going to take us a deep breath or two before you even get into the testing site. It's very important that you have something on your stomach. Do not go into a testing site on an empty stomach. You want to eat light, of course. You don't want to go in there on a full stomach. It may make you actually fall asleep. You don't want to go in there on an empty stomach because it's going to be a distraction to you the entire time. You want to eat light. And when I say eat light, yes, I mean eat as little as possible, but still, at least coating your stomach lining to where, you have something on your stomach, but also eat the light. And when I say eat the light, I mean things that are grown in the sunlight. You want to actually eat your fruit, eat your vegetables, whatever that may consist of, as far as, whatever you like to eat early in the morning, like, bananas, grapes, strawberries. They go great in oatmeal. I'm more of an oatmeal guy in the wintertime, but in the summertime, it's I'm eating the light still, you know, the fruit, the vegetables, that is the light. Eat the light. It helps your brain, and you'll definitely be ready for whatever this test brings your way. You'll get there. You'll pull out whatever pieces of paper, pencil that you may need. We're not going to worry about who's there, who's not there. We're not going to worry about what's on this test. We're going to close our eyes when we sit down at the desk. Take us a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Give yourself about 5 seconds to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale out of the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to calm down. Another deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly inhale. Exhale. I think my biggest pet peeve is spelling errors. So, yes, grammatical errors are what can actually keep you from passing these tests. Now, the basic grammar rules, spelling errors is the number one rule, because there is no good excuse for spelling errors in a final draft. Like when you have your rough draft is something that you wouldn't share with anyone, but that final draft is something that you're actually sending out to the people. Like, let's say you're post on Facebook, or you tweet something, or you post something on Instagram, that final draft is what the people will see. So you don't want spelling errors unless you don't really care about your spelling. When it comes to something like Facebook, that doesn't matter. But when let's say you have a 500 word essay due next week, and you know you have to watch your spelling. You have to watch for things like run-on sentences. Make sure you're using either a spell check or a dictionary. Rule number 2 is run-on sentences. Run-ons occur when you try to make one sentence do too much. Like you just want to keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, and you never have a period at the end. You never give the people pause and say, okay, that's the end of that sentence, they're going to the next sentence. No, you just keep running on, put a comma here, and you give another sentence that could have been its own sentence because it's its own idea, and you're just adding on to a sentence that was over 2 sentences ago. You definitely want to avoid run-on sentences. Sentence fragments. That is a sentence that doesn't have enough in it. You know what I mean? You only wrote part of the sentence. In this particular one, I'll put up something like, because there was no other way of escaping the fire. It's like that is the sentence fragment. Because there was no other way of escaping the fire. It's like you kind of leave the reader hanging. It's like, hold on, what are you going to finish the sentence? Like, was there a beginning of the sentence that I missed? Like, he leaped out of the window because there was no other way of escaping the fire. The first part was a sentence fragment, and how you fix the fragment is, put what else belongs in that sentence. Make sure there's a subject verb agreement. The subject, the verb is the action word, right? A verb is an action word. What is happening? What is someone doing? A noun is a person, place, or thing. A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Now, a pronoun must agree in number. Okay. Let's skip that part. Let's go back. A pronoun is basically something that has to be okay. This is a pronoun refers to a person or people without naming them. Like, let's say everyone, everybody, nobody. Those are singular pronouns. Plural pronouns would be we, us, our, that type of stuff. Those are just pronouns. You're referring to someone or, something sometimes, but these pronouns, you would only capitalize the pronouns at the beginning of a sentence, right? Right? Proper nouns, that's when you actually name someone. A proper noun is my name, and no matter where it is in the sentence, you would have to capitalize it. Mr. Marquise would be capitalized if it's at the beginning of the sentence or the end. We want to talk verb tense. Tense means time. Verbs tell us what action is occurring, right? I just said that. Verb is an action word. A verb tells you what is happening and when it's happening. I was running on the beach. running is a verb, right? Running is the action word. We'll also talk about plural and possessive. Like when an S is put at the end of the word, it can be the plural of that word. Like, let's say I have one grape, or I have a bunch of grapes. I just added an S to grape. But a possession would say a grape's stem. That's apostrophe S because the grape has a stem. It possesses a stem. That's the difference between plural, you having more than one of something and just adding an S, and that something or someone possessing something is an apostrophe S. You have to know the difference between possessive and plural. Like plural for books would just be an S. The possessive for books, the book's pages, would be an apostrophe S. Capitalization, the same thing. The the beginning of a sentence, it has to start with a capital letter. Every sentence, no matter what that sentence says, the word has to be capitalized. You would also capitalize something like all the main words in a book title or a TV title, a title of a movie. You know what I mean? Let's see. Okay, now we have word usage and sentence usage. So basically, we'll start with basic words like it. Now, when I say it's, like apostrophe S, that is basically a conjunction word. You remember conjunction where two words are combined and you have an apostrophe S, it's it apostrophe S, it's. That is joining two words, it is. But when you have a possessive, it's like I have a dog, its tail is cut. I have a dog and its tail is cut. That it's would not have an apostrophe. It's just its. That's where some things can get a little confusing. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, what we just learned was plural and possessive. When it came to possessive, it said put an apostrophe S, right? The plural takes the S. But in this one, it can't be plural. Can't be plural. Cannot have more than one it. It is it is a thing. It is a thing. So it is a noun. That's just one example. It's and it's. And then you have which word would you use? To, as in also or extremely. To, as in the number two, or to, toward, or as far as. I have to go to school. Or I go to school too. That's what I'll say. I go to school too. Which to would we use? I go to school too. And then you have your and your. You are and yours is what you possess, right? And then you have there, as in the place there, right there. There, meaning their mom's car, or there, they are. They are here, there, and there. And then improper contractions. Improper contractions. Never use could of, should of, would of. What you mean is could have, should have, would have. So the contractions would be could have, would have, should have. What did I say? Conjunctions? Well, contractions. They are contractions. Contraction words are those that combine two words, could have, should have, would have, become could have, should have, would have, instead of could of, should of, would of. And then your negatives, you want to keep the negatives consistent, but you can only use one negative per sentence. You know what I mean? Incorrect way to say, oh, no. Incorrect way. I stopped, listened a moment, then he looked at, okay. That's just more examples that they have on this grammar rules PDF. Grammar rules PDF. And I make a lot of these grammatical errors. It's good to come in here and say, oh, I didn't know I was doing that. Punctuation. A question ends with a question mark. A semicolon is not a comma. A colon introduces a list of items. A hyphen shows that part of a word is carried on to the next line, or it breaks the word between syllables. You can't divide a one syllable word with a hyphen. You know what I'm saying? Another one, I think this particular slide is going a little long, but this is the very last thing that you will learn is troublesome verb conjugation. And that comes when you're dealing with the past tense, present tense, or the past participle. Like began, began, begin, began, have begun. Bring, brought, have brought. Choose, chose, have chosen. Rise, rose, have risen. Speak, spoke, have spoken. Write, wrote, have written. And I think we're ready to go ahead and jump into the test.